What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have a new project car for you. Behind me is my new BMW M2, and I actually picked this thing up off Copart a couple of days ago, and I didn't even mean to buy it. I kind of just threw a pre-bid on it, and then I went up a little bit on the pre-bid, and we won this thing in Alabama. And the crazy thing about Alabama is you do have to have a dismantler's license, so some cars go pretty cheap over there, and check it out. And now we have an M2. I've actually always wanted one of these cars. I heard they're really fun to drive, and you can actually mod them a little bit, because like I was daily driving my Subaru and I didn't really want to mod it because I was going to sell it, and I had very little money into it, so I just decided to sell it. But I wanted another daily driver that'd be fun to drive. And check this thing out. This is a 2016 M2. It is the OG one, so it does have the N55 engine, which is kind of what I wanted. But let's do a little bit of a walk around. The inside of this car is actually pretty clean. Check that out. No airbags are blown. That's kind of the reason why I picked it up, because I'm getting kind of sick and tired of replacing airbags. So check that out. This airbag's good. That airbag's good. All the seat belts are perfect. And we actually drove this car clean off the trailer. Check this out. Starts right up with the original battery. I didn't even have to charge it or anything like that. And it is pretty clean. It only has 44,000 miles, I think, on it, which is actually pretty good for a 2016. I mean, these are the exact same cars. I think they go all the way from 2016 to like 2018. It's basically the exact same car. They didn't really change much on them. But anyways, let's go over some of the damage on this car. As you can see, it kind of just got sideswiped, and I did buy a Carfax, and they say that it ran into a median. I guess they were on the highway trying to drift it or something like that, and it kind of just slid across it. You can see right there, messed up the tail light, rear bumper, quarter panel. I'm gonna try to fix this quarter panel. I'm not sure if we'll be able to, but I do have a maxi system over there, and that thing is a beast when it comes to pulling out dents. And then as we move to the front of the car, we're gonna need to replace this door right here, the front fender, and the front bumper and the headlight. As you can see, this one's kind of destroyed. Check this out right here. It just sideswiped it. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. I did have to do a temporary fix on the control arm. I kind of built a contraption. I'll show you guys that in a little bit. But I gotta say, this thing is an absolute steal of a deal. Look at the passenger side. It's completely original, brand new looking, no damage absolutely at all, which I am actually loving, because I'm kind of getting sick of these cars that are just completely destroyed and you have to do so much work. But like, check this out. The windshield's good. All these windows are good. Mirror's good. Door handle's good. We're not gonna have to worry about finding it, because there's always a lot of things that go into just finding a simple mirror. They have different variants and stuff like that, which I'm super happy is good on this thing. And one of the coolest thing about this car is, let's pop the hood. It got the N55 engine. I know the newer comps have the competition. I guess it has the S55, which are nice engines, but they kind of sound terrible. I remember we had the M4, the gold M4, probably a couple years ago. That car was fun to drive, but it had the S55 in it, and it just sounded terrible, which I don't really care about horsepower. As you guys know, I do have a McLaren. If I want to go fast, I'll drive that thing. But this thing right here is completely stock in the front, and it absolutely looks brand new. Under here, a nice little wash will do it some justice, but check that out right there. So this is like the second time we're actually looking in the engine bay, and I did just realize it does have an aftermarket charge pipe, which is nice because those things are prone to breaking on these cars. But anyways, that's enough talking. Let's go ahead and dive into this car. First, what we're gonna do is go ahead and get this thing jacked up on 4 jack stands. I wanna get it up in the air, and we're gonna start disassembling this car and seeing how bad a side swipe is on a BMW. So let's go ahead and get this wheel off right here. And I did actually find the wheel locks for this car, or the wheel lock. Well, there's actually 2 of them, which I think one of them is actually messed up, but it's always good to have these right here. Let's see. Yeah, this one right here, you can tell, I guess somebody used an impact on it, which is exactly what we're gonna do. So let's go ahead and get this front wheel off. Got my impact right here, and let's see if this thing will unscrew. There we go. Holy moly, well, that wasn't good. But anyways, guys, this wheel is bad. Check that out. It has some pretty serious curb damage. And the crazy thing is, look, it is holding air. And then let's look in the back. And look at that big old bulge right there. That is crazy. I'm surprised the wheel still holds air. But we got the wheel off. And now let's do a little dive deeper into it. So now that we got the wheel off, I decided I'm just gonna go ahead and strip down this entire front end. We're gonna go ahead and remove this entire front bumper right here. I wanna see exactly what's going on back there. I already ordered a lot of parts for this car, but I'm still not sure exactly what else we need here in the front. And I think we're gonna go ahead and take off this fender right here because that thing is absolutely destroyed. And as for the control arm, let me see if I can turn the steering wheel a little bit. And I'll show you guys how I actually got this thing off the trailer. So easy. And I actually just made a simple control arm fix. So check this out right there. I basically just made a bar with 2 bolts in it. I welded them on and then I bolted it on. So it basically connected the control arm back together and it was able to get this car running and moving. So let's go ahead and strip down this entire front end and see exactly what else we need under here. So we got the front bumper off, and I gotta say, I love cars that are not smacked in the front. Check this out. Everything is OEM in the front, all the coolers, all the radiators, everything looks really good up here. I did notice that this plastic piece right here is broken right here. So I guess we're gonna have to get a new one of those. I guess it just slides out, and then we also need to get a new one like this. But otherwise, it looks pretty good under here. We're gonna go ahead and continue taking this thing apart. I wanna go ahead and remove this headlight right here. As you can see, it's completely destroyed. And then we can go ahead and take off the fender. So we got everything stripped down, and man, I gotta say, I'm happy with the way everything looks under here. As you can see, the actual structure of the car is perfectly intact. The only areas that are a little bit scratched up right here is from the fender, which I already ordered some paint. We're gonna get that all nice and sprayed in. Now we're gonna go ahead and replace this lower control arm. I actually bought a used one right here off of an M2, and you can see my fix right there. It held up pretty good, which is pretty cool. Maybe I should start making them and selling them because that right there is pretty awesome. Any car, any control arm, you just bolt it on there and bam, you're good to go. So let's go ahead and replace this lower control arm, and then bam, this thing will be ready to drive. So I got the new control arm installed and everything seems to be in the right position. Although I think I do need to also replace this inner tie rod. It is a little bit bent, but that's all good. And check this out. We actually just got back from the dealership. We picked up the front bumper right here, and check that out right there. We got a new front bumper and a new rear bumper. Honestly, it's better just to buy bumpers from the dealership, because I mean, this used bumper right here on eBay, 600 bucks. At the dealership, I think it was like 640, but you're not dealing with any old paint, cracks, chips, or anything like that. And that is the newer style. As you can see, this thing right here is a little bit smaller, and then this body line is sharper. Now let's come check out the original bumper. This is a 16. I decided to just go ahead and get an 18, 19 bumper just to give it that nice little facelift look. And it's an OEM plus facelift, and I think it's gonna look really good. And we also have our fender right here. And one thing we need to do is go actually to CarQuest, pick up some paint so we can get that thing pre-trimmed out, trim out the insides, and we can go ahead and get this thing installed on the car. And I want to straighten out all these brackets right here, get the fender on. And I got a headlight over there at my dad's shop. I want to go pick it up and see if it's exactly the same one, because these cars come with a lot of different variants. Especially whenever you order a headlight, you definitely want to get all the modules installed on it, make sure it works right away. So let's head over to my dad's shop. We'll pick up the headlight, and we'll also go to CarQuest and pick up some paint so we can get that fender trimmed out. So we're back at the shop, and I did get some new parts. Check this out. We got this little headlight right here. This was a used one, and I did get it bare, so it was pretty cheap. and that is because we do have everything on my original headlight right there. So what I want to do right now is go ahead and test fit the fender on. I think we do need to straighten out this bracket right here. I want to straighten that out and then also test fit the headlight because this bracket was a little bit bent, but honestly, there's no reason to replace it when I can just straighten it out. I think that thing's like $150, but you have to take apart all this stuff right here. And I just think it's not worth it whenever we can straighten it out. So let's go ahead and grab that new fender, put the fender on it and start lining everything up. And then we can also go ahead and tap this out right here. You can see it barely got the hood, which kind of sucks. But honestly, I don't think it's gonna be too hard. Just push it back from the back. So let's get straight to it and get this front end kind of mocked back together. So we got the fender on. It took a little bit of time to adjust all the brackets, and I'm guessing all the brackets were pushed back a little bit, so we straightened them all forward. Everything lines up good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just straighten this area right here out since we got the fender on, just temporary right now, but I lined everything up. Looks good here, looks good there, and it matches the same exact thing on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some body hammers. I'll probably heat this area up right here and straighten it out and get it ready for some body work. Just as simple as that, we got it nice and straightened out. Obviously, we'll probably use the maxi dent puller to pull this area out a little bit right here, just so we don't end up putting too much body fluid on there. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and test this used headlight that I got. I'm gonna have to go ahead and transfer everything from my original one onto here. Just make sure everything works inside, because sometimes these things will get burned up inside, and if you're not careful, then you won't be able to return it or anything like that. So let's swap everything from that headlight onto this headlight. So check it out, we got this entire headlight all back together. Looks good, and now we're gonna go ahead and slap it on the car. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and test fit this front bumper and see how well it fits up also. So check it out, we got the entire front end back together, and I can confirm everything works perfectly on this headlight, which is pretty crazy because I got this thing for a steal of a deal. I think it was $475 with all perfectly good working tabs, and all the other headlights on eBay were like $1,800, which is pretty crazy. This one just popped up. I gave him an offer and we got it. It was a bare one, but good thing we had everything. But man, check out that front bumper right there. It looks so much better than the older style bumper. As you can see, these things right here are a little bit more sportier, and this line right here is a little bit sharper. And then also up here, you can see there's just more I guess body lines up there. That one's kind of just flat. And another cool thing I do like is it does have the newer one-piece grill, which basically connects instead of having the two-piece kidney grills like that. So it's just gonna give the car a little bit of a modern look. And I was kind of thinking maybe I can even sell this hood right here and get the CS hood that has the little vent right here. I think it would look pretty cool. You know, just do a little bit of upgrades to the car. And also, this right here looks pretty freaking cool on the newer cars. But anyways, now that we have everything test fitted and everything is good to go, we're gonna move on. But now that we have everything test fitted in the front, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the side. We're probably gonna go ahead and take that door off and get that side skirt off. Make sure there's no hidden damage under here, because it kind of looks like it's smashed right there. But honestly, let's see if we can get this door open. I don't think there's really any damage back there. It kind of just broke the plastic piece. But I think we're gonna do that tomorrow because we already did a lot of work. Got the entire front end lined up on this car. So I'll catch you guys back tomorrow. I think we're gonna go ahead and start pulling the rear apart also. Make sure there's no suspension damage in the back. But man, I gotta say, this car is turning out to be an awesome deal. So it's the next day here at the shop, and we also went ahead and went to the BMW dealership to pick up some coolers right here. Or this is the shroud for the radiator, and then this is the radiator. And we also grabbed a gallon of antifreeze. And let's go ahead and get this front bumper off, and we're going to install the cooler that goes right there. This shroud is a little bit broken, a little bit cracked up, and I think they did come out with a new shroud that actually has a grill over that protects it. So let's get this front bumper off and install the cooling system. So we got the auxiliary radiator installed. We also went ahead and filled it up with some BMW antifreeze. And now we're gonna go ahead and start this thing up and let it warm up and make sure nothing's leaking. So let's go ahead and crank this car up and see how she runs. Hey, it doesn't say low coolant anymore. But man, this thing sounds pretty sick. So the car runs good. There's no leaks absolutely at all. Everything checked out pretty good. And I did also go ahead and spray this in a little bit right here because there was a little bit of paint peeling off. But I gotta say, this M2 is coming together nicely. I mean, this is like the first day and a half that I've been working on it, and the front end is pretty much all ready to go. We're just gonna have to do a little bit of body work. I'm kind of disappointed in that. Kind of sucks, but you know what? That happens. I'm glad the hood wasn't damaged any more than that, and everything is good underneath. And I think we're gonna go ahead and do all this other stuff in the next video because I do not have this door just yet. Unfortunately, I had to order one off eBay, which is coming all the way from California, so it might be a couple of days. And then we also went ahead and ordered a OEM side skirt for the side right here. And then this quarter panel right here, I'm kind of scared because I don't know what I'm going to do with it just yet. I really do not want to replace it. I wish I could fix it. I'm going to actually try to fix it because replacing it, that means we'd have to get all the way up in here and cut all this up and take this window out, take the rear window out, take the entire rear all apart. And I think we're going to try some magic because I've never actually tried fixing a quarter panel like this. I mean, I think we can probably get all this nice and pulled out and then put a nice little layer of Bondo on there, not too thick or anything like that. And then I did do a little bit of looking underneath the rear suspension. Everything looks good. There's no issues or anything like that. And then we did order a tail light, which should be here pretty soon. Ordered it a couple of days ago. Honestly, I should have just bought one from the dealer, but these things are pricey from the dealer. But man, I just love this car so much. I'm actually really excited to get this car on the road. It sounds really good. The interior on this thing is perfect because, as you guys know, when you buy a smash car, usually the interior is completely toast. You got to replace airbags and stuff like that. Like, if y'all remember my McLaren, when I bought this thing, the front windshield was busted, the side door was missing, and it sat outside for a really long time, and a lot of the interior got ruined, so you have to replace it or somehow fix it. But we still do have this car. The battery actually died in it, and I couldn't get it started, couldn't even get the hood open, but we got it open. And I think we're gonna do some more mods to this thing here soon. There is some type of leak or something going on in the back. I had it parked in the office and it started leaking some kind of coolant or fluid. Cause I know some of these cars actually have coolant leaks that leak really slow, but whenever you don't drive the car, and I gotta say, when you don't drive a McLaren, you get so much issues with it. But once you start dailying it, all the issues start going away. The computer starts rethinking itself. But anyways, that's an update on the McLaren. We also have some parts for the BMW. We actually drove all the way to Florida, picked up the rear bumper and the fender for this car right here. And we also have a steering rack. We also have a control arm, which I think we'll post a video here soon on this car. I'm very sorry for the lack of uploads, guys. I've just had a lot of things going on. You know, I'm getting married here soon. Had to go to Florida, had to come back, you know, and, you know, it just gets overwhelming. And I kind of messed up because I kind of quit posting a little bit when I was working with the Goon Squad. And then it kind of just dragged out. And then I didn't want to just post some dumb content for you guys because I know some people get mad when I just post a video with not much work and stuff like that. But anyways, we are jumping back into the video scene. I want to do some more cars like this right here because these are actually fun, quick flips. You know, this car isn't going to take me long. We got the front end pretty much all situated, and it's not like it's going to take months. I think this car should take about 2 weeks. And I want you guys to hold me to it. I got pretty much all the front end parts. I think I will have to order some more parts because I thought these side vents right here on the bumper were the same for the newer one, but it's a completely different design. So we have to order that. And then a couple more pieces in the front. But let me know what you guys think. Y'all think the facelift version looks better than the old one? I was kind of looking at it the other day and I was thinking maybe I should have kept it with the old style, but then the new style just looks so much aggressive than that one. But yeah. So guys, that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The BMW M2 is coming along. And honestly, I wanna start doing some more fun stuff on the channel. I'll probably end up taking this thing through the mountain roads, maybe take it to the track, you know, do some more cool stuff instead of just kind of fixing cars. Because I'm kind of getting bored of just doing that. It kind of just bores you out and you kind of get burned out with it. You gotta try different things. And I kind of need to get out of my bubble because I'm the type of guy that kind of just does one thing and sticks to it, and it's kind of hard to get me out of my shell. But anyways, if y'all enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button. Also follow us on Instagram. We post a lot of updates on there. Thanks for watching.